Okay, so what I'm going to be doing, guys, is I'm going to be doing a short video to show you how to basically create your promotions. So I'm just going to log into my diary. So the first thing we're doing is going into our promote section of the diary and into promotions. Now for you, it might not be at the top right hand side here, it might be a bit further down here, but I know you know the promotion section here. Now this will show me all the different active promotions that I've got in my diary or diaries. Okay, sorry, in my diary. Okay, now this green shows that it's active. It does give it a name. Now the actual number here, I'll go into in a little second. We've got an ID, which is the individual ID of that promotion. Now, every time you create a new one, it will have an individual ID over every single diary. So although the next promotion I create is maybe, for example, number 1,000, the next one afterwards won't be 1,001. It's literally just the next one in line according to the full res diary system. The period of validity and the advertisement period we'll go into. Now, when you look at the name, you've got two choices. You can copy a promotion over, and then that will copy all the base architecture of the promotion over. Or what we can do is we can edit it, and obviously edit that. I'm going to create a brand new promotion from scratch. Now, when I create a new promotion, it takes me to the kind of the high level information about the promotion, okay? So I can give it a name. So name promo. Now this will be what comes up as a banner. So something like, you know, dinner inside, dinner outside, 10% off, tables of 6, credit card details required, something like that. Okay. You can give it a full price. Now this will show up on the widget as well and on obviously the app. So you don't need to put in the symbol for euros. You just pop in the amount and it will work out the actual symbols that you need. You don't have to put a price in either. You do have a description as well. So this is where, you know, you maybe give the customer a bit more information about what the offer is or what, you know, what's going to be happening, or, you know, if you have any information about, please note that, any information about pre-order, for example. And that's where you put here, okay? Now, the advertisement period is not when the actual offer is valid, okay? So the advertisement period is when it's going to showcase on your site, on the actual page. Now, I'll use the example of Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day, the actual advertisement period, the validity period will be the 14th of February, okay? Now, if I set this up to show today and tomorrow, okay? Now, if I set up the validity to be the 14th of February, but I click onto my widget on the 14th of February today, it will show me the Valentine's Day offer. The same with tomorrow. But if I was to then go on to the 27th of March, if it became the 27th of May, and I had clicked on the 14th of February, the Valentine's Day offer would not show. Now, rule of thumb here is that if this does not showcase, if you're testing out your promotions and this is not showing at least today on it, then you won't be able to test it, okay? So you generally run your advertisement periods for a certain amount of time, you know, summer season, winter season, for example. But if this was set for, say, tomorrow, which is the 26th of May, and I went onto the widget to check it, nothing would show up according to this promotion because it's not valid as of yet. Okay. Now, we also have a cut-off time. Now, what you can do is you can set up a cut-off time on your widget or for this promotion so people cannot order it. Now, the example could be is that in the UK, people want to book in afternoon teas or book in a special buffet, but the chef needs a certain amount of time beforehand for this for it to not show. So, for example, a day before the actual offer shows, people can't book it. Now, please note, this does not if you've got settings in the diary that override this, which I know you do for dinner time, saying they can only book within a certain amount of time before, that can override this. But 24 hours before, this means that if this promotion was running at 10 a.m. yesterday, 10 a.m. tomorrow, I cannot book it, okay, because it's 24 hours in advance. If you don't want anything on it, just leave it blank. Now you can have a certain amount of different scenarios set up for parties, okay? So you can set up these rules so that if I call this, say, table for 4, it has to be 4 people for this promotion to actually show up, okay? If I choose 3 people or 5 people, it won't show because this matches 4 people. It's basically telling me there's a rule in place saying that 4 people as a minimum, a minimum and maximum have to book it. I can also do it at most. So this means if I was to choose table, an option of 1, 2, 3, or 4 covers, this option would show up online or on the widget. At least 4. So this means for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and so on, it will show up. And then I've also got in range between 4 and 5 people. If you choose between those two, then this option would show. Okay, now you can have multiple different rules in place for these different sizes. Remember, different dates as well. But generally, I know that you don't really do that. Maybe if you're doing maybe a happy hour meal for 2 or something like that, where they get a bottle of Prosecco or a bottle of Cava, maybe that's how you might use it. But it means though, if I have it set so it matches 4 people, and I go onto the widget and I search for 3 people, then this offer will not show. Okay, so remember, it's following a rule that you're setting up. I'll set it back, don't care. You can also set up a total amount of covers, the maximum that can be booked for this for, okay? Now, this is a good way if you're doing like a flash deal or maybe like, the first 20 covers that book get a special offer. So you can actually set it up so actually maybe per day, 30 people is the maximum that can book this offer. Once it hits 30, it then goes back to your normal booking standards. So the customer won't be able to book the actual special offer. But it basically means that you can limit that to the maximum you want as well if you're doing an offer, or maybe it's a certain deal that you've got. But you can do it per day or per service. Okay. Merchandise and consumer portals, ignore that. Payment and card details now. You can set up so payments required, but you want to save the promotion first and then create a deposit, which I'll go into. Or you can ask for just credit card details. Okay, now this will then, when the customer's booking, it will then ask them for the credit card details to be stored against the booking, and that will go against your normal terms and conditions. But this one's to be non-required. Can be combined, ignore that. Status enabled, ignore that. Promotion types, ignore that. Now, is this a takeaway promotion? This is for the new takeaway option that we're going to be doing regarding menus and things like that. Just ignore that at the moment. Now, that is the kind of base information regarding rules and what the customer will see. Now it's about the actual seeing it in actual areas. Okay, now where it's going to be valid. Now, in my diary, I've got the name of the area, and then brackets. This is a segment. Okay, now I've created multiple segments in my diary for different kind of operations, Christmas Day, Valentine's Day. So what you'll do is you'll see bar, you see all the areas I've got in the bar, and then you'll see all the areas I've got for match day Saturdays, and then all the ones for normal operations, and so on and so forth, okay? You want to make your promotions required. Because for most of the venues you have an inside and outside option, they're both required. When the customer is booking, they're basically being forced to make a choice. Do you want to book inside or outside? Now, if you've got one promotion required in an area, if I make it just available, it won't show because you've got another one that's required. If you make both of them required, then what will happen is both will show. The customer will be given an option to see which one they want, such as inside and outside. Okay, it forces the customer to make an option regarding booking inside or outside. Now remember, you can have certain promotions set up in certain areas. So my tables of 4 could be set up in the main restaurant, but not in my private dining room, which you can have a different rule for in your private dining room. Okay. Then we've got our channels. Now, all the channels down the left-hand side, these are your kind of res diary channels. I know in the middle, you have all the channels that have been created by yourself. I know one of them is Empire app. So if you want these offers, for example, just to show up on the Empire app, you would untick all of these here. You can do it by just ticking the top one, and you would tick Empire app here, okay? Now this tells you when people are booking, you know, on the left-hand side, it shows the number of covers. There's a different color. That color itself is the channel, but it also means, for example, special offers can be on the Empire app or could be on the Facebook channel, which are not shown anywhere else, okay? So you're driving traffic on certain channels if you want to do certain deals or discounts. Not only that, if you've got, for example, travel companies or bus companies you're working for, if you've got a special deal with them, you send them the link out with a widget on it, then what will happen is they can then book people in really using that special deal. Okay. You've also got all the channels down the right-hand side. These are global ones as well. Some of them are there, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I would just tick them on if you're going to use them on all channels, okay? Now, validity, the validity tab, this is obviously now when the actual offer is going to be run. Now, remember I talked about Valentine's Day being the actual day that it's going to be working on. The advertisement period, I wanted it to be from, say, today until Valentine's Day. Whereas my validity itself, I just want it to be for the 14th of February next year. Okay. Now it's going to ask me between what times I want it to be on. Now I can have different rules. It could be a Sunday, and it could be between 12 and 2 p.m. Okay. Now I'm going to create this one saying 12 and 2, and I'm going to create another one, another validity period saying between, say, 3 and 5. Okay. Now nothing has changed right now. Technically, my promotion is running from 12 to 2. Then it's running from 3 to 5. It's not running at 2:15, 2:30, 2:45. But what I can do is if I do say change this to 14:15, I can change the channel variables for each of these different time slots now, okay? So I could say, right, you know what? On the rest of the channels, instead of taking 30 covers, I'll take a maximum of 10. Okay. Also, I can give, now, I know you give customers 2 hours for tables, every single table. I know tables of 6s get a little bit longer, but you could actually say, you know what, 1 to 2 people, they get 90 minutes on this table, okay? Now, anyone who books between 2:15 and 5 p.m. now, they're given a different amount of time on the table than they would normally get if they book at, say, 2 p.m. Okay, so this means that you're maximizing your potential to get more covers in. Now, also, you might want to let customers know that please note that they'll be given a certain amount of time as opposed to what they normally would get. But this basically means that you're making sure that all your rules are running exactly how you want them to run. Now, your packages, your translations, you can add in Spanish translations. Now, this will show up if you have a Spanish-based browser, then all the information will fall up in Spanish. You choose your language. I can just get my P there. Spanish, pop in the name and the description. Okay. Now, menus are for pre-orders, which you don't run at the moment. Now, the images as well, these are for the Empire app. So these make sure that your app is actually, has an image attached to the promotion. Otherwise, there'll be no image available. Okay. Maximum size 500 kilobytes as well. Now that's how you do your promotions. I'm going to be sending a guide as well in writing, but the biggest things you've got to make sure of are your advertisement periods and your rules regarding how many people are going to be booking for, where it's going to be, where you're going to showcase it. Is it going to be online? Now, you've also got the internal channel here, okay? Generally what I find is if you want to have it just, for example, on the app, but also internally, you have to keep it internally as well so staff can edit it, okay? So internal channel is like I'm making a booking on the laptop and in the restaurant or at HQ. And your validity, the validity here has all the different rules as well. Now, when you look at them, they all look the same here. Sometimes you do have to go in and edit and just see exactly what's being changed here, okay? And that's how you create your promotions.